Greetings and salutations, gamers. My name is Kyle, also known as Gamers Weekend, and I've got a question for you. What comes to mind when you see this? Maybe it's Bed of Chaos, maybe it's Onion quest lines. Or, if you played the original Prepare to Die edition, maybe this is more accurate. For me, the answer is a bit different. A question that's been burning in the back of my mind for at least the past couple years. Why it took me so long to answer said question? That's because having ideas and acting on them are two completely different things. But you've read the video title, and you know what weird intrusive thought inspired this video's madness. Can you cross the lost Izalith lava fields without the orange Charred ring? You might find the answer... Okay, I don't know if the answer counts as surprising, but it's pretty funny in my opinion. Before we get into that, we need a poor sucker to set on fire. Everybody, meet Randy. It's short for Randall. And by short, I mean one letter shorter. A letter that doesn't even get pronounced in the first place, so why we call him that, I don't know. Maybe his parents hated him or something, but that's not the point. The point is, we're gonna set Randy on fire. The fire fields in Izalith constantly tick the player for a large amount of fire damage, turning any unprepared player into a "you died" screen very rapidly. There's about 4 ticks of damage every second, and each one does pretty considerable damage. Here, we have Randy without any form of protective gear on, taking 162 fire damage per tick. That's almost 700 damage per second. To put that into perspective, that would go through the Taurus Demon's health pool in about 2 seconds. This is exactly why the game gives us the orange Charred ring, to mitigate this damage to next to nothing. But the real question is, can we get that number down without the orange Charred ring? The immediate answer is to look at fire resistance and see if that affects lava damage. And if you're wondering why we need to ask if fire resistance applies to fire damage, I honestly envy you so much. These games are programmed in ways that would confuse Lovecraft sometimes. Let's start by putting Randy into some pretty fire-resistant armor. I'd say the gold hem set is a good start. You're pretty much guaranteed to come across it, and it's a fan favorite for fire defense. For starters, we can immediately see that the fire resistance is doing its work, taking each tick of fire damage from 162 down to 80 damage per tick, or 320 damage per second. Just by putting this armor set on, we've already cut the fire damage in half. Pretty cool stuff. That means we've doubled the amount of time we can spend out on the lava lakes. But while we're already cranking up the heat resistance, why not see exactly how deep the rabbit hole goes? We've got some open ring slots, so why not slot in this flamestone plate ring? This ring adds another 50 fire resistance to our build and gets us down to 64 damage per tick, or 256 fire damage per second. It's not a huge decrease, but still about a 20% decrease from the gold hem set. At 75 vitality, we have 1,717 health, so that means we can last almost a full 7 seconds in the lava with this setup. Decent, but I know this can get dumber. What if we really start cranking the fire resistance, swapping the gold hem set out for +5 black iron armor? You know, the set that Chad Tarkus wears. This set boasts massive fire resistance, and in combination with the flamestone plate ring, it takes us down to 54 damage per tick, or 216 damage per second. May not seem like a huge increase for such a large investment, but we're squeezing out every little bit of damage we can right now. Which leads us to the final ingredient in our extremely fire retardant soup, pyromancy. An often overlooked little spell in its playbook is the spell Flash Sweat, which describes itself as dramatically increasing fire resistance. Exactly how dramatic are we talking here? Oh yeah, now we're feeling it, Mr. Krabs. From taking 54 per tick, all the way down to 29 damage per tick. That's 116 damage per second. To put that into perspective, that's less damage in a full second than a naked Randy took in a single tick of damage. We have lowered the amount of damage we're taking down to about 18% of the original value, multiplying the amount of time we can spend on the lava by over 5 times the original amount. Yeah, fire resistance can get pretty stupid in this game. And with this setup, the Izalith Fire Sea stands little chance. Here's what an actual run looks like. With a casting of Flash Sweat, we can easily make it to the first route. From there, we can follow the routes, with a very brief intermission of lava, before our first big crossing. We get across with only one heal, and then can roll the next instance of lava damage before dropping off another route to the bonfire. From there, we have the final crossing to the Izalith proper, and we easily make it across, only using about 60% of our health bar. And there you have it. Yes, you can in fact cross the Izalith Fire Sea without the orange Charred ring. Quite easily, in fact. As a fun little aside, here's what all that fire resistance looks like against the Hellkite Dragon's Fire Breath. Hope you enjoyed, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you gamers on the flip side. Later! Hey, technically I made Randy. So wouldn't that make me Randy's parents? I mean, I do kind of hate him. I don't know, maybe next time we'll test gravity by throwing him off a bridge or something.